Welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast, live from the Loop Studios in Minden, Nevada.
Making plans with the boys. Gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up. Yeah, stay out all night.
Okay. I don't know. I do not know why the intro music didn't play on KGXT radio.
Is the butt up?
The butt is up.
Which are we using today? Which computer are we using today?
We're using the CDL, the Christina Dvorak laptop right here.
Oh, so you got away from the Mac.
I'm not using the Mac. See, I knew you were going to blame me for that. Although, to be fair, the Mac is where we make the changes for the music for radio.
Whatever.
So
whatever.
I don't know.
Excuses.
I'm not an excuse. I'm letting you know what's going on. Good Lord, a lot of stuff
Did
going
you
on
hit
in
the
my
record button?
life. Yeah. It looks like.
Are you sure?
Well, if you'll give me a second, I'll go look, princess. Yeah, it looks like the pod track is moving up and down. It looks like Streamlabs is moving side to side.
Thank you for acknowledging that I'm a princess, but last time I was crowned queen.
Oh, is that what happened here?
Yes.
You were queen, and now you're not queen anymore. Now you've been demoted to
No,
princess.
I'm queen.
Didn't I make you queen? Can I not demote you to princess? Do I not have the authority to do that? If I can make you the queen, I can make you the princess.
Okay.
I could also make you the Cinderella housemaid, scrubbing the floors with mops and brooms and
You
stuff.
think you can.
All right, let me see.
Are you going to start it?
Yeah, I'm going to make one quick deal right here. Are we 5x5 on KGXT radio? Did anybody give you the thumbs up? Oh, you forgot to go look, didn't you?
No, many people did. Oh, I am always in the KGXT Studios Discord room.
Really? Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, really.
Oh, really?
We
All
have
right.
the usual suspects in there.
Very good. Glad to hear it. This is the Gen X Talks podcast. Welcome to it a little bit after 10 o'clock a.m. Los Angeles time, as we are every Thursday. We broadcast from here. Letting you go, we're live from the Loop Studios in Minden, Nevada. I'm here with my current wife in the studio. As long as she keeps her P's and Q's, she can remain the current wife.
This is my current husband accepting applications for future.
It doesn't sound as good when you come behind and you just say the same thing. I mean, you know, it's a current wife. That's funny.
Hey, if you could say it, I can say it.
I know. It just doesn't have the zing on it.
It has a zing on it.
So I have to make an announcement. I have to let the United States of America and U.S. citizens all around the world know something.
Oh, okay.
The Dodgers have won the World Series, and you're welcome, America and Denmark. And that's a true story. I did this.
Oh, really?
Now,
You did it.
I did it.
Well, yeah, you kind of did.
Yeah, personally, I took charge of this uphill battle.
So we told him last week that I didn't make the, what was it,
The
18th
18 inning game, yeah.
I went to bed.
Yeah, you.
We said that in last week's podcast.
Right. We talked about that you watched all the way up to the 18th inning. It was a battle. You couldn't stay up any longer.
Nope.
You went to bed, and within 5 minutes, the Dodgers won.
That is correct.
The next game, they lost. You watched all the way through, and
I
they
did.
lost. The
Friday
next game,
comes.
you did not see the game. You did not see the ending of the game.
Wait, was that Friday? No, Sun.
Well,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The last
It doesn't
game.
matter what day it was, but the last game, you quit watching the game right about the time the base runners fucked up for the Blue Jays. The play came in from Kiki in the outfield, and the Dodgers won. Now, the next game, you're watching it with me, Game 7.
Right.
And we're behind. We're behind by 2 runs. Then we catch up behind 1.
I was stressing.
Then we're behind 2. Then we're behind 1. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me. When you watch the games, we lose.
Yeah, that's what you say.
When you are not watching the games, we win every game in the World Series. We actually got into a fight over this because you wanted to watch it so
I
bad.
wanted to watch Game 7. Who doesn't want to watch Game 7?
And I was so serious about the Dodgers winning. I knew at that moment the weight of Dodger Nation was on my shoulders.
It looked like we were going to lose.
It did, because we just couldn't catch up. Every time we got
Right.
within a run, we'd go down 2 runs.
Right.
And I made you leave. And you were like, you're kidding, right?
Yeah, you made me leave the room.
I said, you need to go in the bedroom and not watch the game. I don't want you on your phone. I don't want you on your tablet. Nothing. And
I
you
got sent to my room.
you were mad at first, and I looked at you and said, honey,
This is for the Dodgers.
this may be for the World Series. Can you please be a team player here?
Right.
So you did. You're like, and I wouldn't let you out unless it was between innings. You wanted to come out and get some of your gear, not until between innings. You wanted to come out and get some food, not until between innings.
That's right.
But you did stay faithful to what I was telling you. You stayed back in the room, and guess what?
It was for the Dodgers.
The Dodgers won.
They did.
I don't think even Dave Roberts knows the level of participation that we had in the Dodgers winning the World Series. But
It
that
was a
is
sacrifice for me. Like, I couldn't even come out of the room and watch the whole
no,
thing.
that was the ultimate sacrifice fly to score a run. You knew
I did it.
You knew you had to do that. And you fought me at first, and all of a sudden you went, "Oh my God, he might be right." And come on, let's be fair. There are stranger things in baseball. There's guys that don't change their socks because it's good luck.
Right.
There's guys that they rally cap their hats backwards because there's superstitions through baseball that go back 100 years. This is not uncommon, especially when you're at our level. We've been around a long time, 57 laps around the sun, and our dedication to the Dodgers. There are sacrifices and superstitions that need to be adhered to. And when you discover one, you don't question it. And we didn't.
We didn't.
And guess what? So, yeah, I don't think everybody quite understands our level of participation. But to the Dodgers out there listening, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we figured out the math, we executed correctly, and we got it done.
I know.
It's a big thing around here. So just so you guys know. Yeah.
So after everything was said and done, the parade's been done, everything's good, it's golden, it's in the books.
Yeah.
7 of the guys on the Dodgers are free agents.
I think so. I think it's about 7.
I believe it's 7.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Well, it's short-term contracts on some of these guys.
Are they going to pay up to keep them?
Well, that's how, people say, oh, the Dodgers, they're just buying their way to a World Series. Well, I've watched the Yankees try to do that and get nowhere.
Right.
And the Yankees payroll isn't far behind ours right now anyway. And the way we ended up with some of these players, like Ohtani, was the Angels didn't want to pay him. They
Amen.
had their shot.
And Kike left
Yeah.
and came back.
That's right. There's also 2, I think they're both pitchers that came from, was it the Mariners or the Blue Jays? Maybe it came from Miami. I don't remember where they came from. Farm ball league, but they both were free agents and nobody wanted to pick them up. We picked them up. They became our pitchers, one starting and one bullpen, and they won the games because nobody wanted to pay them. Nobody wanted to pick them up. It's not like we poached them. I guess that's what I'm saying. We didn't go out and poach players.
True.
These guys were available. Their respective teams didn't want to pay for them, so we did. And now we look like, oh, you're just a bunch of rich guys buying a World Series. Fuck you. You guys.
You had first dibs.
You guys had it.
I agree. We both just took a drink at the same time.
If I'm drinking water, don't you drink water. If you're drinking water, don't I drink water.
There was a pause.
That's 8 seconds of dead air.
There was a pause.
So yeah, these guys, we didn't buy the World Series. We bought players that other teams didn't want to pay for, and they could have. And now we got guys. Yeah, they're up for free agency. I don't know.
I've been kind of poking around. It looks like they're going to re-sign everybody.
I would say, why wouldn't you re-sign with the team? Why wouldn't you even take a little bit of a pay cut just to be part of a three-peat if it's possible?
Right.
I mean, you
We
want
have some holes to fill. A few, like
Yeah.
Kershaw's leaving, so they need to find,
yeah.
somebody to replace him.
Is he leaving, or is he going to be a pitching coach?
Maybe eventually, but I don't think right now. He's got kids that he needs to spend some time with.
He does.
They're old enough that he needs to do that. And I think that's what he was talking about, is that he's going to start, hanging out with his boys, and
Yep.
they're getting into baseball. And so I think eventually, like down the road,
Yeah, it's a good.
I think he's going to come
But
back.
as a player, it was a great way for him to go out.
Oh,
because he did
absolutely.
participate. He did pitch. So.
Absolutely.
So Halloween, we've skipped over Halloween. We had a Halloween garage show with the Sun Valley Fox.
Which, let's recap that for a minute.
I don't even
That
know
was
how to
the-
recap it.
That was the most hilarious sort of garage. It was in the garage.
It was in the
but-
garage, but what did it have to do with anything? Your brother went off the reservation. I mean, He was like a psychomaniac with a knife. It was terrible.
It was hilarious.
It was horrible.
You guys did really good on the tools that I gave you. So for those of you that did not see the garage show from last week, Halloween edition, they had to carve a pumpkin with whatever tools I gave them.
And you just went to his toolbox and picked out random
Yeah,
tools.
and the weird thing is I've never been in his toolbox. So I'm like, I had no idea prior
Well, I
that this
know.
is what I was going to do.
You picked up a tool and went, well, this looks weird. Here, I'll hand him this.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I guess. I mean, yeah.
So we did that. It was a lot of fun. It was a great show.
So many laughs and
You guys can see that on YouTube. It's up on YouTube under Garage Shows. There's playlists on YouTube. And it's up on Facebook too. I think we left it up on Facebook Blue. You guys can go check that out. The Garage Show took a little turn there, but it was a lot of fun. Your brother is a great addition to that. In fact,
he loves the garage show.
and I think people would be disappointed if I did a show without him. I think we've gone to the point where it's like we would get letters to the main office.
I think so. They would probably oust you first
Yeah,
before
like
my
okay,
brother.
if you're gonna lose somebody, you can just take some time off if you need to and just point the cameras.
My brother is just so freaking funny.
He is. He's a pretty funny guy.
He's got a great sense of humor.
So might be a good time to try to gently announce to the viewers, the listening audience,
Of what?
what's going to happen with the next garage shows. So if we do a garage show,
Well, first of all, let's talk about daylight savings time because that's what affecting everything.
well, then I'll just continue with what I was saying.
Okay, go
First
ahead.
of all, what I was going to say was that if we do a garage show every Friday, that's for a month. If we have 4 months of bad weather, cold, and daylight saving time, that means we're doing it in the dark. That means 16 shows.
Right. We
in the
even
dark.
had that problem when we were in California too because it got dark. You couldn't be out,
Right. It
in
was
the
tough.
driveway. So it's not like it's a Nevada thing.
No, it's just it's a timing thing. But
Yeah.
we do run into much colder opportunities here.
Right.
So the thought came up, and I don't know if this is going to work the way we want. You try stuff and you just don't know if it's going to stick. What the Sun Valley Fox and I were thinking on doing was.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Goose.
No. Who came up with this idea?
I don't know. Me?
No. I'm the one that told you
Oh,
about
my
it.
God.
You
Okay.
then your comment was, "Oh well, I have to call the Sun Valley Fox to see what
Well-
he thinks." But I'm the one that came up with the
Well,
idea.
excuse me, as Steve Martin
Give
used
me
to
the
say.
props, man.
Okay, so this idea, if it,
With enthusiasm.
now you're gonna make, golly gee willikers, everyone in the dancing and listening audience at home, we have some brave new announcements. The Garage Show is going to be filmed, recorded, and broadcast live during the day when it's sunny outside. It's going to be rebroadcast that evening as a playback, as a rerun. This is a great idea that's going to generate time for 2 different audiences all around the world. Thank you, Gen X Mom.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so let me back up. I don't know how this is going to work. So remember that it's her idea if it bombs, because then she'll run away from it going, I didn't say that, you did. The idea we were thinking, because of the time change mainly, and weather, is if we could film something during the warmest part of the day. Let's just set up the whole show like normal, noon, somewhere 2 o'clock, and do a show. In the driveway, we can do some stuff on Big Blue. We can do some stuff on Old Hickory. And we're not opposed to doing stuff inside the garage like we did before, where we did the cameras. That was funny.
Yes.
Where we did the pumpkin stuff. We're not opposed to doing that. There are some ideas that your brother and I have had about doing some informative things with the drawing, with the board and some
Right.
pictures,
Right.
but we can't do it every week. We don't have
And
16 shows.
I told you that because there's women that are watching.
Yeah.
And I'm not mechanically inclined.
Right.
Per se on a car, and it's always nice to go down to the basics, the nuts
Yeah,
and bolts of
so
how things work.
There are some things that we'd like to do, and I'd like to take Old Hickory, that 47 Dodge, and pull it up in the driveway, or even if it's on the trailer, and do some stuff under the hood where we're showing that we're going to break this engine loose. Let's show what we're trying to do. And I got my borescope. I can show pictures of inside the engine. We can go to the drawing board and show some
Yeah.
basics. Why are the pistons stuck? How does this work? We can do some of that. But we
Yeah.
did. The idea was, and then it was, of course, all right, that's great. You're going to do a garage show during the middle of the day. Well, that affects a lot of people. A lot of people work.
Right.
But
That's what I said.
you do get a different audience because if you did something at 2:00 here, it's 5:00 on
the East
on the
Coast.
East Coast. You are going to get a different audience to some degree, and then if you replay it at 6, and here's what I want to get through. That a lot of people would say I don't want to watch a replay.
Right.
We're going to be there.
Yes, you're going to be in the
We're
chat.
going to be in the chat. We are going to be. I might even have a microphone where I go, okay, this is where the Sun Valley Fox did this. That I may do a running commentary as we go along. I can do that. I can plug a mic in, but we're going to be there with you. If we do the 2 shows, we'll do one live, we'll record it, we'll add some little features to it, but then we'll replay it at 6. And I don't mind, we'll be there. The staff will be there. If you guys have Shiloh Ferguson will be on Facebook doing your stuff. I can spend a little more time on TikTok talking to people.
Right.
So it's what YouTube calls a premiere when you show a video or a movie and you're actually live in chat. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
So the idea is, and I don't know if this is going to be too much work or if it's going to work out great. We're going to try it.
Right.
We're going to see. And we're going to do the 2 shows. We'll do one live during the day. We're not going to change the schedule. I'm not changing the schedule. The Garage Show is still at 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Friday. That's it. If you catch the recording, great. If we do a live broadcast of our recording, far out. We don't have to. We could
Right.
just blindly record it and then play it for you guys at 6. I just thought a lot of you might be interested to see the live version. Plus, what if we went, you guys are always complaining and talking about the horizontal versus vertical views. What if the live version was one way, but the broadcast was another? Maybe that would give an opportunity for people to see it both ways. I don't know. I don't know what all the choices are, but we almost have to do the recording on some of these during the day. Now, the shows we're going to do indoors, not a big deal.
Right.
We'll just run those normal, no live ahead of time. And I'm not going to announce it. I'm not going to make a big deal. If you're on Patreon, if you're a member of Patreon, Gen X Talks Patreon, yes, you're going to get a quick email saying, hey, by the way, we're going live in half an hour. That is the only way we can alert you to the Garage Show being live. You get to view the live recording.
Yeah, because also you didn't tell them that during the day it's not gonna be a scheduled time.
No.
It's whenever we're available.
Yeah.
Sun Valley Fox is
That's
available. We're just gonna do it. There's not gonna be like, hey, Friday at
Nope.
10 or whatever.
I can't lock us down to
No.
a time. It's like sometime when it's warm outside between 11:30 and 2:30,
Yeah.
we're going to do something. And the only way we're going to tell you, hey, we're going live, we're doing a recording, is just to give it to you on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you're going to get to see that stuff as it happens.
Something just popped in my head about what you should do for maybe one of the first ones is what we did when we put Old Hickory out and we took the wheels off last week.
Yeah.
Just to walk around with a camera and show the details. Because remember, I
Yeah.
go, oh my gosh, look at this bumper.
That's right.
And you go, what's that hole for? And we were just going through
Yeah.
very intimately
Right.
the truck. We jumped up and looked into the bed.
You were at the front of it and you said, oh my God, it's stamped right on the front grill. It says made in the USA.
Yeah, stuff like that. I think that would be a great introduction to Hickory.
Yeah.
To just walk around and talk about the little things that we saw, good and bad. Show the interior,
that's
like
not-
a preview
Oh
kind of
yeah,
a thing.
not everything's perfect. There's a lot of dents and things wrong,
Yeah.
but that's not the point. The point is us doing some stuff with it as we go
Yeah.
along, and then working on it with Briggs when he gets back, because there's a lot of stuff to do. There's years of stuff to do.
Yeah. I have a story to tell you.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was raining here. Remember,
Yes.
we stayed home all day yesterday. We were warm. I was warm.
Yeah, you were warm.
The night before, I have to tell you, we have had the wind. The wind actually woke us up.
Yeah, you were not okay with this wind.
I was not okay. There was stuff hitting the house. There was the stuff in our backyard moved around. I mean, it was stronger than Bakersfield, California. So
that is the strongest wind of any place I've ever lived.
when they say a high wind warning,
They mean it.
watch.
Yeah.
They're not lying. See, in California, growing up in California, they always called every storm that came in storm watch. And we
Yeah.
used to laugh about it. Remember going,
Okay.
storm
Yeah,
watch.
storm watch. Ooh, no.
California does not get storms like that. It just used to crack me up. But
There's
here,
a couple things about it. We live, this house that we rented for a couple of years while we build is in a tiny, tiny neighborhood. It's a tiny house in a tiny neighborhood. Everything's crammed together unbelievably.
And we're at the bottom of the Sierras.
And we're just at the base of the Sierras.
Yes.
That storm comes swooping over the mountains, swoops down across this valley. The good part for right now is that all of these houses around us are natural windbreaks. I mean, you think you're feeling it. You're not feeling even half of what's going on because all these houses around us break that up.
Right.
When we get to Dayton and we're out there on 2.5 acres and our house is in the middle,
That'll be fun.
we better use heavy-duty nails when we build that thing just because it's going to be something.
So I was bringing up the storm for a reason.
All right.
So I had a memory come to me about when I was pregnant the first time and went into labor.
Yeah.
And it was a rainy, cold day, really odd for California.
Yeah, what did you say? Like a barometric pressure
Yeah,
change.
so I went into labor.
Yeah.
And I went to the hospital, and the hospital was packed full of women having babies. And I'm like, why is today like the day? And all the nurses went and said, when the barometric pressure drops,
Yeah.
women go into labor.
That's
And
a
I thought
weird
they
deal.
were joking, but it was packed. There were ladies in the hallway. I'm like, is this going to happen every single time I have a baby? But I wanted to pass that on, that it came to me yesterday while
Barometric pressure.
drops and babies are arriving.
So Halloween came and went. We did the Halloween show for the garage show with pumpkins and stuff. We had some trick-or-treaters. The back of our neighborhood where we are, probably not so much, but the rest of our neighborhood that's kind of up front, 200 houses or so, a lot of people decorated. I
Yeah.
mean, a huge number of people decorated for Halloween. We even came back late that night, and there were still kids walking around. We had to go slow through the neighborhood because there was 30 or 40 kids. I can't imagine what it was like when we missed that part of it. Not so much at the corner where where we're at. Our street's kind of at the back, and it's mostly darker, but all the houses up front. It was so fun to see all the people still involved. I can't wait to see Christmas.
I know, me too.
I can't wait to see the participation there. So that's going to be good.
So it seems like the week before Halloween, we noticed as we were driving around town, they do the trunk and treat, or trunk and treat, the thing
Yeah.
where the little kids were going to like parking lots and stuff like that, which I think is a great, safe environment for the kids because of the world we live in
An
now.
alternative.
An alternative. But I did put out a basket full of candy before we left for the garage show. And we did have a few trick-or-treaters, not as many as I had thought, but that's okay.
That's all right. That's fine. I just wanted to be part of things. I wanted to make sure that we weren't the house that was dark, even because you always decorate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you and I over decorate for holidays. And now that we're by ourselves, a little bit. We put out some ghosts, you put out some lights, we did some stuff,
Yeah.
you put some candy out. That's all I care. I want to make sure that our house participates.
Yeah, we always went over the top when our kids were
Always, yeah.
little. We made a big, huge deal. I used to, for Halloween, the kids would go to school and I would do a full buffet of Halloween food,
Yeah.
like Halloween themed food.
Always weird stuff. Yeah.
I had like a Jello brain mold that they
You
thought
had,
that
like,
was, it was
hot
fun.
dogs and stuff that looked like fingers,
Mummies and mummies.
fingers. Yeah, just
I
weird
used to do
stuff,
so when
man.
they got home from school. That was the only time because they were so excited to go out.
Yeah.
I just put out this big huge buffet so they could eat and then get their costumes on and go.
And then when the kids would walk through the door, you were always in costume.
yes,
You were either a witch or you were a pirate wench. I mean, you went all out. So when they came home, the house was decorated.
Yeah.
Plus, we had decorations outside. It was a huge gig for
it was
us.
fun. It was fun. But now it's just the two of us. We've kind of
I like where we're at.
Me too.
I'm very happy with that.
Me too.
So speaking of the wind, the mountains, the weather, I have a story that I never told you. It just happened.
okay.
Let me start by saying, and this is a dream, and it's not good. You're not going to be happy with this because
Then why are you sharing it with me?
Okay, I won't. Let's move on.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
I don't think you are. You don't look ready. You look ready to be mad.
Well, I'm just a little. Is this going to bother me for the rest of the day?
Yeah, because I've never had a dream where I was allowing something bad to happen to you, ever, because that's not in my nature.
No.
All right, so let me back
You
up.
let something bad happen to me?
Kind of.
Was that after the comment I said the dogs always follow me around to protect me, but they don't protect you? Is that where that came from?
No.
Side note, tell them about that. Wherever I go in the house,
The dogs are there.
the dogs are facing away. If I'm in my office, they face the doorway.
Yeah.
If I'm in the bathroom, they face out. They are on protection.
They
mode.
sit almost in the doorway with their backs to her, watching out always.
Right.
And they're always spread apart. They always do the same thing. The dogs always protect you. They could give a shit about me. They don't
Exactly.
care at all.
So I mentioned that to you.
No, this has nothing to do with that.
okay.
But
I
I'm going to
thought that
back
was-
up and I'm going to tell you guys. I want to tell you guys a story that I took seriously. I was always trying to teach my kids things when they're little. One of the things, I don't even know how this got brought up in my brain, but this is a story I would sit each child with down individually. Mm-hmm. And I would try to impress this simple story on them because there are times I don't have time to explain myself to you. You know, probably when they're 7 years old, maybe 8, I would sit them all down one at a time, no one else around, and I say, I'm going to tell you something. I need you to listen to me. And, kids are okay. This goes for boys and girls. But I would tell them, I would say, sometimes a situation may come up that's very important. I don't have time to explain myself. I don't have time to argue with you. You just have to be obedient quickly. And my kids would look at me and say, well, what do you mean? And I say, okay, there's a story that was told to me about a little boy walking down a path, and he was coming up to his house. It was like in a jungle environment since way back when. And the father was standing in the front yard and saw the boy walking up the path to the front gate area to walk in the yard. And there was a snake, a big snake, in a tree on a branch, lowering itself down to drop on the boy. Like a big python. Mm-hmm. And the dad saw it, and as the snake began to swing down off this branch, the dad yelled to his son and said, drop to the ground right now. And the boy dropped. And the snake missed him, and the dad ran and, took care of the snake and got the boy. But if the boy had said, why? What for? Or the boy had looked around like, what's going on? No. There are times as a father when I'm trying to save your life, I just need you to not be a little asshole. Don't fucking question me. Please just do it. I have told every one of our children that story. Every one of our children got it. And it sits in the back of their mind because our kids are in their 30s. I've had kids come up and say, I've never forgot that story, Dad. If I could tell you were serious, I didn't question it. And there's only been a handful of times with this last batch of 8 children that I've had to do something where I said something quick, get out of the way, move, stop. Stop is a big one. Stop because there's a car coming. Or, there's been a handful of times when it's worked.
Right.
But the only reason it worked is because I told them that story in very calm seriousness and said, there's times when you can't question me and argue and do your little thing. You just have to trust me and obey quickly.
Right.
Okay. So I had a dream. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen the movie 2012.
I hate that movie.
And there is a scene in that movie where, the big part of that is the tides are shifting and covering the earth.
Yeah.
And there's like a Tibetan monk up in obviously in Tibet or the China area, and the waves come crashing almost over Mount Everest,
Right.
that high.
Yeah.
And so these mountains around us in the Carson Valley, I was coming home and there was all over the news, some tidal wave was coming in from the West Coast. It was a big thing. And all of a sudden I'm looking up at Tahoe.
Whoa.
And Tahoe's gone. The lake is covered, the town is gone, and there are waves splashing over to our side.
That's pretty high.
There
Okay.
are waves coming down the mountain, and I know it's a matter of time till the big one goes 100
Push it.
feet over, and so I'm racing to get you. And I'm trying to call you. None of the cell phones are working. People are driving like maniacs all over the road and running, and I'm screaming through the neighborhood in the truck trying to get to you. And I see you in your office, and I come sliding up. We don't have time to get clothes. Nothing. I don't even have time to grab a pistol. It's just I'm honking at you, waving for you to get in the truck. And you take your time and you get up and you walk out, and I'm screaming and I'm laying on the horn, get in the fucking truck, get in the truck, get in the truck, get in the truck. And you're like, why? Why do we got to get in the truck? What's going on? And I left. I said, you know what? You're not listening. You never listen. You just sit there and do your thing of like, well, tell me why. Well, what's going on? And I'm like, I really don't have time for this. Could you just, for once in your whole goddamn life, do what the fuck I tell you and just get in? I was so mad because, and I remember being angry going, she's not getting it. And I took off down the street and I looked in my mirror and you had seen the mountain and the water and you turned around and you had this look like, oh shit. And I'm like, yep. I tried to save you from that very thing, but you won't fucking listen. And I remember in my dream, my heart sank because I left you there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I just couldn't get you to do what you're supposed to do. You just wouldn't do it.
Wow.
And in my dream, yes, I was racing back towards you and you were running towards the truck. That's kind of where I woke up. I don't know whether we made it or not.
God, that's a weird story.
But I remember the feeling going, I came home in the dream thinking I need to rescue you. And I knew
It was going to be a fight.
It was going to be, I go, you know what? This will be the one time she just needs to listen and do what I say quickly. And she won't, and you didn't. And it was just so infuriating that all I'm trying to do is save your life, and you want to have a discussion about it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see how you feel when you get left. Now, I'm telling you this dream so that
For future
reference, when I have some urgency,
when I come barreling down the street.
right? Or even there's some times when you're walking towards me in the living room and I go, stop, 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 and you keep walking, going, why? And I'm like, well, you just stepped in a bunch of shit that fell over, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't see it. No, but you did hear me yell stop 7 times. But do you stop? No, you walk right at me like, well, I don't know why I should have to stop. I'm really, please, if you could just, and this is on behalf of all men, telling all women, there are times when you just need to follow directions a little bit, please.
Yes, dear.
Could you do that?
Yes, dear.
That'd really help us out.
Yes, dear.
And then I won't have any more bad dreams, because my next bad dream, you'll just get in the truck. And then we're together fighting against the story, fighting against the elements. And I'm not going to fight you. I want to fight the bad guys. So.
All right. Well,
anyway,
I have. We're going to switch gears.
We have to. There's nothing else like that. There's nowhere else to go.
So if you're listening to this podcast on Thursday nights, the General, my husband, does the World Show.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on a few political subjects this morning, just to
Okay.
give a little. You don't have to go into a dissertation or anything.
All right.
Just give you some thoughts, and then you can deep dive later. Okay.
On what? On what do you want to talk about?
Well, the first thing is the election happened.
Wait a minute. We do a world show tonight, right?
Didn't I just say that?
Yeah, you did. I told your brother it was bottom of the glass. It's not. It's a world show. I lied.
Did your head just pop out of your butt?
Here it goes.
That's what I heard. Okay, so like I was saying,
Yeah.
there's a world show tonight.
All right.
The elections happened on Tuesday.
Some
Some of them. And I was looking, and there were 2 that happened that I was watching was Prop 50 passing in California. Tell people what Prop 50 is first of all that don't know for
Prop
California.
50 simply was just
A bullshit. No, I'm kidding.
Governor Gavin Newsom
Was playing God.
was trying to redistrict. He just wanted, he was upset that Texas had done some redistricting, and he even said in his advertisements for the campaign, we're going to vote on 50, and it's we're going to right the wrongs, we're going to put some things back. And what it does is it moves populations in draws different lines in the map so that more seats in the Senate or in the House of Representatives become blue. They become Democrat.
And you know what's funny about that? I have to stop you. You know what's funny about that? Is Texas had to redistrict because half of California moved to Texas.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom's the reason that
Well,
everybody laughed.
The thing is, too, is that Texas was wide open to redistrict. And there has been so much. That's when you hear the term gerrymandering. What that means is that gerrymandering is when governors and state assemblies redraw the lines for their own political benefit. And everybody does it. Lots of states do it. And Texas finally said, okay, there's other states that have done it, and Illinois has done it, and Massachusetts has done it, so we're doing it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can they do that all the time, or is there a limit of how many times you can redistrict?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
You can try to redo it all you want, but the problem is you have to have a reason for redoing it.
Okay.
And this is where it gets complicated. To put this the short version, Newsom did it and said we need to do it because of Texas. Now listen, this is all of his advertising in California was we need to fight Trump and redistrict. We need to fight against what Texas did and redistrict. Now, I was kind of quiet on the subject. Like, can you really do that? Can you go in and say, I'm going to redistrict my representation to get even with somebody? Does that really sound like you're redistricting for the benefit of the people?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you doing it for the good of your state? No, you're pretty open about the fact you're being vengeful.
Right.
And guess what? There's already been lawsuits filed. And they're like, you're done. You can't do this under that. It'll go through the Ninth Circuit, and the Ninth Circuit, of course, will agree with Gavin Newsom. So you're going to hear, well, there's challenges to this. Oh, and they failed. Federal judges sided with California. Yeah, okay. Let's wait till it gets to the Supreme Court. Because I got a feeling the Supreme Court is going to say, you advertised you were doing this to on purpose. You weren't redistricting to make it even and fair and wonderful for the people of California. You pretty much had 30 different advertisements saying you're doing this to make them blue, to make them Democrat strongholds to go against Trump.
Yeah, they're not lying anymore. They're not
No.
lying. They're putting it out there, just out there.
So that's really interesting. But the other part was that if you really wanted to get into a gerrymandering war, there's almost no other states in the country that the Democrats can gain more seats. They've already done it. In the last 30 years, they've already shifted their congressional districts around. They're done. Guess what? The Republican states have quite a few states that could still gerrymander and pick up 15, 18 more seats.
Yeah, so
Why would
California
you-
won't matter.
Why would you start a war? Well, if you're going to do it in Texas, we're going to do it in California. Okay, well, then we're going to do it in 6 other states. Okay, well, then we're going to, oh, shit, we've already done it everywhere.
Exactly.
They really don't have anywhere to go.
He's not very bright.
I don't understand. That was a tough thing. And then, everyone's all like, well, the Democrats are back. Mondami won in New York.
Oh, that was my next
and the
question.
governor in Virginia, the Democrats are back. It's like, well, are they? I mean, those are blue cities and blue states with blue governors. They're kind of toss-ups. They're a little bit purple. They're like, yeah.
It would have been a surprise if a Republican won at that point.
Yeah, I think it would
was
have been more impressive had a
Right.
Republican taken those seats and the governorships in New Jersey and in Virginia
Right.
and things and said something along that line like, wow, that was unexpected. These are kind of expected.
Right.
They're not bothering me that much. What bothers me is similar to Mondami, that the Democratic Party is going so far left.
Yeah. No, it's like off the chart.
I don't understand why. And this is where you look at Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania. He goes, they're like, well, they're winning all these things. He goes, it's not my Democratic Party.
Yeah, it's
I
almost
don't
like-
want to be that far left.
It's almost like what people were saying is the Democratic Party is disappearing. They're now going either socialist or communist. That's it. It's like Republican or communist. Republican
Pelosi's
or
leaving. She's not running for
yeah,
re-election.
because she has no control.
No,
There's-
AOC and Ilhan Omar and all they're taking the Democratic Party to be completely fringe left. I don't see that working.
I don't either.
I don't even care if you're in the Democratic Party and you hate Trump. Okay, you can hate him. You hate him that bad that you want to become a Muslim state? Really? You hate him that bad?
Yeah.
I think Trump is going to shift gears a little bit, and I think he's going to do 2 things. I think he's still focusing on making things affordable for the country. I think he'll try to do that, but I think he'll try to Muslim-proof some of the Constitution. I would see them, if they're still in power at the midterms, I could see senators and congressmen coming together with Trump and going, look, you can practice any religion you want. You just can't make Sharia law the law of the land.
Yeah, I'm nervous one thing about Mondami, and I feel so sad about this is he had a lot of the younger generation jump on board on his train.
It's all Gen Z.
But what I'm worried about is that they're getting the false narrative of everything. All these promises that he did, he can't technically
He can't do them. He can't do any of them.
And that's where our education system has failed to teach these kids
because
how the system works.
the education system is the internet right now.
Right.
It is TikToks. It is social media. He promises free bus fare.
Can't do
That's
that.
not onto him. That's the state. That's the government. That's
Yeah.
a governor's job. There's so many things he promised, like not even in your scope.
No, and
you
then
can't
2
even do
days
it.
before, he even backtracked on some things.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
And I'm like, what?
Well, Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo started to gain a lot of momentum, and Mondami was losing it. So he, like you said, he backtracked. Oh, he goes, no. I'm funding the police. I'm for funding the police. No. I know what I said before, but I'm changing my mind. He had to.
Yeah.
He was losing it. I think, and I talked to Chris this morning or yesterday morning, his brother Chris Cuomo, and I said, if your brother had 30 more days, I think he'd have taken it. I think he'd have gone,
Right.
I know there was a Ross
There would have been a
Perot
shift.
spoiler in there with the Republican Party, but he was gaining momentum. I think Cuomo would have 30 more days. I think he'd have overtaken him because it was working. He was getting the message out that this isn't going to happen,
Right.
but he ran out of time.
I'm worried about the state of New York turning more Muslim. That is scary for
The state or the city?
I mean, the city. Sorry, the city, because it's just the people that are living there. There's some people that can leave,
Right, but
that
what-
have the ability.
What
But
if it does?
what about people that visit? And
Okay, but what if it does turn Muslim and you're sitting there looking at it and going, well, this sucks.
yeah,
All the women have to dress a certain way. You have to act a certain way. There's more mosques and everything's changing. And now this looks like a little Muslim city. Okay, now the rest of America can go, do you want this?
well, that's true.
You can almost use it as a bad example if it goes bad.
You know what also shocked me is, did everybody forget about 9/11? Like,
Yeah.
are the young people, are they just too young that
Yeah.
they didn't
They don't get it.
see what happened?
Nope.
I would have never thought after 9/11 that
New
this
York
would have happened.
in this city.
Would
no.
never have thought it. I'm sure President Bush is just shaking his head going, what the
I
heck?
agree. I do. So that's the elections in a recap real quick on my thoughts on it. We'll see where it goes.
Well, you could touch more on it later.
I can.
Yes, I know.
All right. What's next? I know something that's next. I'm a little upset with your brother. See, I think your brother misled me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's pile on the Sun Valley Fox right now.
Poor guy.
He was like, no. It doesn't get that much snow. This part of Nevada, it's not that bad. Everything's okay. We talked about this a year ago as we're driving around in Dayton and in Carson, and there's snow markers on the side of the road, 8 feet tall, so the snow plows know where the edge of the road is.
Oh, my gosh.
Excuse me. Now, I had thought about that a little bit, but it kind of got out of my brain because summer was here, and fall. And until I went to Fuentes the other day, went down to our favorite Mexican place there, saw JJ. Just so you know, if you go to Fuentes and you mention Gen X Talks, you get free ice cubes in every soda. I told JJ that the other day. He goes, I'll do it.
Staff has been there.
Staff
so
has
they
been
can,
there.
They can
So,
say
but I was out there, I was getting the food, and I'm coming back to you. I brought the dog with me. And out there in the parking lot, in the Fuentes
In the parking lot?
In the parking lot.
Okay.
Where there's curbs and planters and little things, they have, on their own, put out snow markers.
No, they didn't.
4 feet tall.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. I almost took a picture of it. I'm like, this is not. And I looked around.
And those
Every
weren't there before.
No, they were not there. These are orange. In fact, you want to know a dumb story? There was a guy standing by one.
Yeah.
When I pulled in, I thought he was blind and it was his cane. Because he was so close to it. When I got out of the truck and I was walking in, the guy walked away and forgot his cane. And then I looked and went, that's a snow marker. And then I stopped and looked around. There's 9 of them. They're all over in the parking lot where there's curbs. But don't worry. Sun Valley Fox told me not to worry. There's no, don't worry, there's no snow here. Okay, there's no snow. Right. No snow, but the Mexican restaurant on their own putting up snow markers. Okay, I'm choking here for some reason. Anyways, we talked about the wind being super bad and the wind being a problem. And it was the worst that I've ever seen. We talked about that. But the snow thing kind of took me by surprise because I'm still a little leery of it. But when private citizens are marking their parking lots, I think your brother's full of shit.
So I have
Plus,
some. Oh, Go ahead.
He hurt my feelings.
Oh, why?
Why? Because he's probably an asshole. That's why.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that.
He would.
Yeah.
Aren't you going to ask me how he hurt my feelings?
Yeah. How did he hurt your feelings?
I'm so glad you asked that very question.
I really don't care, but okay.
So sometimes when I call his phone, St. Donna answers, his wife, because he's busy doing stuff and he leaves the phone on the counter.
Doesn't carry a phone with him.
Not often. And she says, "Oh, hi, I saw it was you. You know, Joe's phone rang and it says my name from California."
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Oh, no, he has it. He has you in his phone with your first name and you're from California." And I go, "Well, that's kind of shitty." I mean, let's take into consideration that for the past couple 2 years or so, on the phones I've had, your brother has been in my phone as Big Bro Joe, right?
Right.
Favorite brother-in-law was another one. And now he's in there as a Sun Valley Fox.
And now he has so many marks in his phone
So,
that
yeah. And so now he's got my name and my state, my ex-state. That's how he addresses me? That's who's calling? I got to change his back to, Nevada Joe, or Douglas County Joseph or something dumb. I can't make it personal or heroic anymore. Not after I know that I'm just this
That's
peon
funny.
in his phone.
That's funny.
So whatever.
I have something to share with you that I learned last night.
Okay.
There's something that you and Charlie Kirk have in common. And it made me chuckle. And I have to admit
What
that.
are you talking about?
Well, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Last night I watched Jesse Waters interviewed Erica Kirk last night for the first time after Charlie
Yeah,
Kirk's
gotcha.
assassination, and I was watching it, and it was pretty good. He asked her what she misses about Charlie Kirk, and she said that she would be in the bathroom and he would be in the shower, and he used to mark up the glass
No, he didn't.
with numbers, and then he would always sign his signature after he did the thing. And
You got to be kidding
I
me.
busted up laughing, going,
That cannot be true.
so my husband's not the only one that does this. But she said, yes, she misses that.
I think
was...
that great men often think alike. Isn't that
so
true?
I apologize. I thought you were a little weird, but I guess not.
You had no idea that you had married Charlie Kirk's status. That's right. That's the level I operate on.
But she says, I know that sounds really stupid. I'm like, yeah, it does, but I get it. I totally related to that whole thing. It was pretty funny. So that was cool.
Oh, one of our favorite bands from growing up in the 80s was Journey. They're doing their end of life tour called The Final Frontier. And I thought, you know what? We've seen Journey in concert and we grew up with them. Maybe I should look at their tour dates and see if there's going to be one close by.
We saw them in Vegas.
They're not playing anywhere in the state of Nevada on this tour. The entire state of Nevada, not even Las Vegas, gets a venue. Nothing.
What? Is Steve Perry going?
I didn't look at that.
Oh,
But guess what? Guess what city is on the list?
I could.
Bakersfield.
No way.
Yeah. Bakersfield has a one-night show, but Las Vegas doesn't.
Or Reno?
Or Reno doesn't.
Wow.
I was so upset I called Neil Sean.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I called Neil up, and of course, he put me right to voicemail because I'm sure he knows that I'm upset as soon as the tour dates come out. Neil Sean was in Santana and the lead guitarist for Journey for decades. He probably knew I was pissed. Well, I left him a message and go, "What the fuck, man? Really? Bakersfield? I don't live there anymore. You know that. I know
Nobody checked with you?
Nobody checked to see if I'd still, they put that tour date on there for me and then didn't pay attention. Then I moved on.
Are they in Sacramento? We can hop over the hill.
Probably in Sacramento.
Oh, my God.
Probably a couple days. I just thought to let you know the Final Frontier.
Maybe they'll add more. You know how groups add more as
they
they
could.
go along. So
Yeah. So
maybe.
we did the Off the Record show last night, which is normally people call in with stories, ghost stories and alien stories and stuff. But last night was different.
It was awesome.
We had real ghost hunters, the hometown ghost stories guys.
Yeah.
2 out of the 3 of them were on our show last night, and it was kind of a mix. You and I actually got into a little bit of a fist fight over that before the show because you didn't want me to do an interview. You're like, don't interview these guys.
Well-
People want to hear their ghost stories, man. So I had to gently explain to you. I had to show you that I had crafted an idea, and then I ended it with mind your own fucking business.
Yeah, I had some lack of faith there yesterday.
And how did it turn out? Be honest.
It was fabulous. It turned out to be great. It was great hearing about them and how they started, and then they did add some ghost stories. So it was kind of cool.
They didn't add them in. I drew them out. I said, what's your favorite ghost story? What's the places? Tell me some stuff that's happened. And then when they were explaining the equipment they use, I said, well, how does that work? And they had to tell a ghost story. I knew what I was doing.
Yes, I
You just
know.
didn't
Lack of faith.
You didn't let me get there.
I'm sorry.
Now, there's a bit of news that you don't know. The guys from Hometown Ghost Stories don't know. And Shiloh Ferguson doesn't know.
Uh-oh.
I am never doing anything with those guys ever again.
Why is that?
Rob, who was one of the guys last night, everything was going along famously. If you guys heard the show and you guys listened in, it was excellent. And towards maybe the 3/4 mark of the show, getting towards the end, I was going to say, I was presenting saying, hey, we live in northern Nevada and we have there's Virginia cities up here with a lot of mines and ghost stories and things. And there's a lot of heritage up here with a lot of stuff. And I was going to invite them to come and be part of it.
Right.
And when I said, hey, I was excited because I was doing so well with these guys. I was excited. And I said, hey, we moved to northern Nevada. We live here now. And Rob goes, oh, I'm sorry.
I know he did. I was like, what?
And I said, what? I like living here.
Yeah.
But from that moment on, I was like, let's just end the interview. I'm done.
Wow.
It was very rude. I didn't like the way I felt. I felt bad. I would never say that even if I didn't like living someplace, I would never make fun of where someone lives. And here's the famous one that I've learned, and this is going to ring true with so many of you out there in the world. How many of you have had a friend or a family member move out of a town? They move away. And the first thing they say is, oh, I'm glad I got out of that shithole. I'm glad I left that goddamn city.
Yeah.
Well, what if people still live there?
What if they can't move?
Or what if they choose? What if they like it? And everybody does that. Every person goes, I'm glad I moved out of that fucking shithole. I'd never move back there, fucking trash. And that's what they say.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. And I never would do that to someone. And I would just say, I moved on for my own reasons and I found someplace more suited to what I'm doing. And that's all. I would never do that. And when he said that, he's like, oh, I'm sorry you live there. It hit me very, very wrong. I didn't like it. It bothered me. It's like, well, if that's really the way you feel, then don't come out here. I don't want to take you to, I was devising a way to approach you and go, hey, if we can help pay for their plane tickets or maybe their hotel room or something, maybe we can take them to dinner. Let's set up something where maybe we can shoulder some of the burden to get them out here for 3 or 4 days and do something. I thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be exciting for their show and ours. And now I don't feel like doing it because Rob said that. It bothers me.
Hurt your feelings.
It did. It was like, okay, I wouldn't say that.
Right.
And anyway, I didn't tell Shiloh that because she's still waiting for a response from them. But, she may get an email back this morning going, yeah, it was a great show, but we're never coming out there. Fuck Nevada. I don't know what they're going to say. But I like where we live. I love these little towns just on this side of Tahoe, outside of Reno. I dig it. I've always been a desert guy. I've always been a high desert guy. Yes, I grew up in Southern California with you, the beaches in Santa Monica and Zuma. Yes, I got it. I've been in the mountains a ton of times, been in the deserts a bunch of times. I'm a desert rat kind of guy. That's where I'm at.
That's what you keep telling me.
So I like where we are. I like the feel, the vibe. I dig the whole thing. I love the small towns. I don't like it when someone says something bad about that, about where I live. I take it personally.
Right.
I just do. So
Didn't his mama teach him if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all? Right?
Right. Well, you guys couldn't even hear you there. I'm like, are you talking?
I'm talking just fine.
All right. So that was it. So but it was a great show. If you guys get a chance to listen to that show, that was one of the better shows we've done. Interview and staying on topic.
Yeah, and the hour went fast.
I'm actually going to put that on the Off the Record and I'm going to put it on the interview side.
Oh, cool.
Because it needs to be on the interview side. Speaking of interviews,
Yes.
you want to talk about a clusterfuck?
Man.
So we got this guy Thomas who has this studio way out on
Astrosound?
something like that. Thomas is a cool guy,
Yes.
and he knows his job. There's no doubt. This cat knows a lot. And to get to his place, you got to go. He's like, well, do you know where the road is, the pass that leads to Virginia City out of Reno? I'm like, no. He goes, yeah, Geiger grade or something he called it. And I'm like, no, I don't know where that is. Well, you go out to the middle of nowhere and start climbing the mountain, and then I'm off a couple dirt roads to the west. He's not kidding. Dirt roads. So we go out there, and this particular studio is a kind of a, it's not really a garage conversion, but you might think it was. It's a separate building behind a residence, and it's badass.
It's very cool.
It's got some history, it's got some stuff, but it has no bathroom.
right.
There's like a very clean porta potty outside, and it's down a dirt road. All right, there's certain guests who wouldn't care.
Right.
We could all go out there and do the interview. But there are guests that this wouldn't be nice. This wouldn't
And
fly.
speaking as a girl,
Yeah.
that's not a fun place to go.
Right. So, and Thomas says, don't worry. I got another studio.
Right.
There's a place in town. They rent studio space. I'm renting one. I'm converting one. I'm signing the lease. So we said, okay. So we've been putting off for about a month or so, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, because he built this up to be
Yeah.
amazing.
So we finally go down there. Our first interview is going to be with Dr. McDreamy, and we're going to do a fight doctor interview, which will be long. We're going to do
Part 2.
a medical one, which we had so much content to do. And we get there, and at first, I was taken back like, okay, this is a warehouse with walls that some dude has just built walls and rooms and walls and rooms and walls and rooms. They're haphazard. There's graffiti everywhere, but it's kind of cool looking like how they did it.
It was. It was
And
very cool.
there was a bunch of playbills for bands, for music bands, all over the hallways. I mean, this was underground. The best way to describe this was an underground studio. And there's 30 studios in there.
Right.
And they're all built weird and different shapes, and the hallways have no paint on the walls.
It's
and
a
they're-
maze.
It's a maze.
It's
And
literally a maze.
Yeah, and there's no carpet. You're just walking on the concrete floor of the industrial complex.
Yeah, and I think the doors all just had numbers, right?
Right, they just had these weird spray painted numbers on
Yeah.
them. So we get to his. Now
was
he
cool.
did his right. He insulated. He did all the stuff. It looks pro.
Right.
But the problem was he goes, I can't insulate the other guys. The rooms next to me, sometimes they don't care. They're not going to insulate. He goes, so I'm fighting outside noises like crazy. No matter how much insulating you do, if there's a guy playing drums next door, you're going to hear it.
Right.
And he said, and I didn't believe him at first, the noise travels through the ductwork.
Yes, the AC
Through
vents.
the AC vents. And he goes, watch. And he covered up one of the AC vents, and the drums noises went down.
Right.
But it was still loud. And I could still hear it. And I said, hey, we can't.
Well, first you have to tell them we set up everything and it
We
was
set up-
quiet, and we were like, "This is great. This
Yeah.
is wonderful." And then
It had great background for the cameras.
Yes.
It had great sound. It was perfect. And we're all set up, ready to go. And the guy 2 doors down starts drumming in one of the studios. So loud, we couldn't do it.
we looked at each other and went, "Oh my god!"
I told Thomas, I go, this isn't going to work. He goes, okay, there's a lobby at the other side of the building. So we gathered up all of our gear, drug it all the way to the other side of the building. We set it up. And it was in a lobby, a foyer, an entrance.
it was kind of weird.
It's kind of
Yeah.
cool though. It had black couches in it. But the problem was it isn't set up for sound. So it's
You know what,
echoey.
You know what you didn't see? Do you remember right outside the lobby had those double doors that I went to?
Yeah.
That almost was a theater.
I've been in there. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, wow, that's a really big room.
It was a stage. It was like
Yeah.
a theater. Yeah. And the problem with the room we were in, it was great, except it was echoey. When we actually got all the equipment set up and Dr. McDreamy showed up, Damon was there, and we sit down and I start talking like this. I'm going, hey, welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast. Here's some interviews. I could hear myself echoing in both microphones
Yeah.
because of the room.
And one wall was all glass. Remember?
Right.
That
And
was the other thing.
And I told Thomas, I go, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And everybody, you and Dr. McDreamy and Thomas were edging me. Come on, man.
Well, at
can
first,
you just
yeah.
do it? And I'm like, okay, what if we do 4 hours of interviews and I can't clean it up in post-production?
Right.
Now, we've wasted 4 hours, and Do you guys really want to show up and tell the same stories all over again? No one's going to want to do that. I can't. So we pulled the plug on that, which we're lucky that it was Dr. McDreamy, who's a friend of ours. We're lucky that Damon was like, look, I'm sorry. And he's busy. He does not have time to be fucking around with this shit.
Luckily, we were in Reno.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too far from where he needed to be.
Right, which is good. I like being in Reno because no one has to travel very far. We
Right.
do, but I don't care. So now the next one's coming up on Sunday, which is a potential sponsor. It is a business we are going to be in business with, but now we have no place because it's a man and a woman. I'm not taking them down the dirt road to the porta potty studio. We cannot risk setting up in the studio in Reno and having it not be quiet. So Thomas is like, no, I got another alternative. I got something I'm working on. And I was going, okay, well, let me know. What did I do? I got on the phone with Christine Matlock, Little Miss Hot and Nerdy. She's married to Ben Matlock, who's never lost a case. And I told her what was going on, and she was pissed. She was livid. And I said, he might come through, he might not. It's kind of 50-50. Let me see what you can do on your end. So she starts looking around. She was getting some backups because we only have till it's Thursday. We only have till Sunday.
We've already rescheduled with these people once.
So we can't do it again.
No.
All of a sudden, this morning, he gets a hold of me and says, I got permission from a local radio station that does this stuff. We can use their, and he took pictures. He goes, we can use their stuff. So I got on the phone with Christine. I said, man, you call him.
Right.
Don't text him. Verify this is going to work because this is kind of a big deal. You know, and so she did. She said, we're solid. We're ready to go. She's going to be there. I just got to calm down and not be upset about the whole thing and try to make the interview process go well.
Right.
So that'll be coming up on Sunday. We're not doing it live, but we'll post it for you right away so you guys can hear the interview. And there's not only is it a small business owner doing their thing, but it's branching out into some other stuff with Gen X Talks, and it's branching out into more interviews and podcasts and things. So just be aware this for me, for us, this is an important interview. This is an important moment. I just don't want to fuck it up. And I certainly didn't want him fucking it up by not having a studio when we said we'd have one. So a little bit tense there, but we did get it figured out. And then you and Dr. McDreamy and Thomas, you all had your phones out. You did reschedule Damon, right?
Yes. We have him rescheduled for Tuesday. I was thankful that we were all looking at our calendars right there because he's busy.
Yeah.
Like it took a while for us to do this.
And he's out of town almost more than he's in town. So it's tough to get him in a time slot.
Yes.
I want to say I'm not gonna tip my hand.
Regarding what?
I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag.
Regarding what?
But Dr. McDreamy wanted to know some of the stuff that I had lined out to talk about. So we kind of covered a few things.
You guys were chit-chatting. And Thomas was listening. You got to put that in.
Thomas was like, oh my God.
We kind of had told him who this was that was coming in. Not only is Damon like one of our longest friends, you know, we were telling him that he's the fight doctor and stuff. And I don't know if he totally like.
And then I told him
us.
that he's one of the top guys on the West Coast and especially in the Reno area. He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the medical guy. But when we started talking, Thomas, when we got done, he's like, this is going to be great.
Yes.
I go, yeah, it is. Quit fucking up the studio part of it. It'll be great if we can record it somewhere.
And you and Damon and I, we were just sitting there chit-chatting like friends.
Right.
Like this wasn't anything.
And Thomas' jaw was just on the floor like, I can't wait to hear this. But one of the things he said, and one of the things Damon said, hey, come on, give me a heads up on what we're talking about. And I assured him, I go, look, there's nothing that I'm going to ask you that you got to do homework on. You're going to handle this all off the top of your head, trust me. He goes, okay. But one thing, as I said, is I was going to ask, because our listeners want a list of 10 things they should stop eating and 10 things they should start eating or drinking. And I told him, I said, I want a list just for all general Americans. I know the number one thing he's going to say is soda. Because he did. He goes, and diet soda especially.
It's the worst.
And Damon had told me, Dr. McDreamy had said, if I could eliminate one thing from every single American that would make them healthier immediately would be soda. He goes, I can't stress enough what a killer that is. And diet soda is even worse. He goes, if I could just, wave a magic wand and have something leave our country, it would be soda. So that's pretty serious when he puts that as number one on his list.
Right.
So I had said, well, we're going to get a list. It's part of the conversation. A very small part will be 10 things you do, 10 things you don't do. Let's just put it out there so people can decide to cut some things out of their life. And he said, I can do you one better because he's improved on that. And he said something that I have to give a lot of thought to and then revisit this, but I'll give you guys a tease on it. He said, never eat any food you have to unwrap. And we all stopped. We all froze and went. And then he goes, well, except for a banana, of course. You can have a banana. You can unwrap a banana. And we laughed, but he goes, I'm not kidding. He goes, I've been doing this research for 30 years now. I'm telling you, a basic rule of thumb is if you have to unwrap it, it's bad.
Right.
Now, since he said that, I'm thinking, I got to unwrap bread. Is all bread bad? There's some things, man. There's some things I've had.
But now you're thinking about it before you even go there.
Now, when the next interview
you go
comes
into
up.
the pantry and go, what's in here that I have to unwrap?
That's
Everything.
right. Everything. That's just like the old adage. Does your grocery store have a health food section? Well, yeah. So what's the rest of the store? The unhealth food section.
Well, that's what they talk about for you to shop on the outside of a grocery store. You don't go in the middle. Have you ever
Really?
heard that?
No.
Yeah, it's the way they're set up. Everything kind of healthy is on the outside.
Really?
You get the vegetables, the fruits, the dairy on the one side, the meat on the. If you think about it,
I didn't know that.
everything on the outside of a grocery store is what you should be eating. Nothing in the middle section.
The outside of Costco is cell phones and Halloween candy. Maybe.
Costco is not really a grocery store, but okay.
Well, he had a couple of things like that.
Yeah,
That set
he
me
threw-
back, and I'm like, whoa, hold on a second now. That was kind of cool. So I can't wait to do that one. I think you're right. I think it's going to go between the fight doctor stuff and the medical stuff.
Yeah.
Because I told him, I said, I need you to break this down.
Well, he also wanted to know if you were interchanging them, but they're two totally separate.
I told him, no, I don't
things.
want to do that. I want to
No.
do two different interviews and keep them that way. And especially the one that's just doctor related. I told him, I said, I need you to break this down because I'm gonna ask some stuff to be broke down like I'm a dumb mechanic. And I was asking him about how long medications take to work.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, because if you're a big fat guy, if you're a little kid, and he rattles off this answer.
He's like 50 minutes.
Nope.
20
I'm not
minutes.
telling everybody everything. Can you
I
take
know.
the lead?
No, I'm just saying, like, he just gave you a number.
He gave
like,
me an answer, and I went, what? He goes, on the side of the pill box of every medicine, there's a number, and you multiply it times 4. And I went, what? He goes, I'm telling you, and it works on every person.
Yeah, it was weird.
And I like, okay, stop talking. This is the stuff. This is the stuff on this interview that are just basic things that I would love to know as a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert.
Right.
Just explain it to me with crayons. I'll get it. And he goes, he's got all this stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
So we're not going deep. We're making things simple. That's what I'm looking forward to with that one.
You know what I forgot to ask you?
What's that?
What happened to the gravel guy? Did you miss that because of a girl?
Okay.
Like,
you know part of the story. No, I didn't. Okay.
yes, you.
All right.
You were supposed to have we did all that work last week on the property.
You didn't even see it till it was 2 days after
Okay,
it was done.
I prepped everything before you and the Sun Valley Fox went out to the property. And then I was there when you were making arrangements for the gravel guy to
Okay.
come out to do the driveway.
Calm down.
But you
see-
missed it because of a girl.
You're getting upset. You're getting upset. BA,
Woosa.
you're going to have one of your anxiety blackouts.
Okay.
All right. Let me back up. We went out to the property in Dayton, 2.5 acres. We rented the Bobcat. We tore everything up. We had a bucket for shoveling and pushing and scraping stuff down. We also had a big, huge mower, which was the primary thing. Sun Valley Fox and I took turns learning how to use this. I learned that I'm not very good with a Bobcat. I don't do very well.
But my brother,
He has finesse. He's never really used one either, but within about an hour, he had some finesse. And the bad part was he was going back over my work, making it look good. Then he would go on to his section where he was doing stuff.
and there you go.
So we get it done, and we returned it to the rental guys. They're actually called the rental guys. And I went in and returned everything, and it's $45 an hour
yeah.
every time you're over 8 hours. Well,
Oh my God. You guys did Friday, Saturday,
yeah,
Sunday.
all day Friday, all day Saturday, almost all day Sunday. And the Fox and I knew we were like 15,
But you kind of
18,
knew that was going to
20
happen.
out. Yeah, we did. It's like, if that's the rental price, that's the price. It's better than paying somebody to do it. We're already here. Let's just get it done.
And you had The weekend, I mean, it was
Yeah.
perfect.
It was
here.
perfect.
It couldn't be any better.
The weather was great. We had time. We could space things out. We did our shows. It worked out great. But you're going to be in this thing, another $900,
Right.
and or more. And I went in there, and I'm like, okay, look, I'm over. We cleaned it off really well. We filled it up with diesel.
And you didn't even have to clean it.
No, they said no, you didn't have to do that. And but your brother and I are taught when you borrow something, you give it back in good condition. I'm not one of those guys like, oh, fuck those guys. They charge us rental fee. They can clean it.
Right.
We didn't feel that way. It still needed to be cleaned by them, but we did a really good job getting it far.
Cool.
And we brought it back, turned it in, gave them the numbers and stuff, and the fuel was filled. And they only charged us 4 hours. It easily was 16, 18 hours, and they charged us 4. Great guys that took care of us out there. Now the driveway is open. The driveway was 8 feet apart, and there was tree stumps, and there was poles, and there was concrete, and there was crap there. We ripped it all out. I ripped out all the tree stumps, and the last big tree that was like 6 feet tall, this trunk was like 3 feet around and 6 feet tall, and I go to rip this thing out, and your brother grabs me and goes, "No, don't rip it out by the bottom like I've been doing. I've been plowing through these things." He goes, "Do it up high." And I went, "What?" He goes, "Just trust me. Get your bucket up high." So I pull up next to it, raise the bucket.
So this was one of those respect your elders and
Yeah,
listen.
I just started doing it, and he motions like a little higher. I raise the bucket up. He motions a little higher because he's far away. He a little higher. It's like he goes right there, and I hit this thing. I thought it was just going to break in half, but he was right. It rolled over, and all the roots and everything came out at once.
Cool.
So it worked out well. We got everything, but the driveway is now 30 feet wide. It's ready to go. It's 60 feet
It's
now.
beautiful.
We're ready to put some gravel down or some road base. We're going to get the stuff on there. So I know in the back of my head, I got to call 2 places and get some estimates, so I know what I'm doing. It's in the back of my head. The other day, I also knew that you came back here. You weren't feeling well after the interviews, and I raced over to the Foxhole, drove out back, and I put some stuff that was in our truck in the back of Big Blue, and I wanted to pick up Old Hickory's. I got to Old Hickory, and I got the tires and wheels that your brother and I had taken off and put. Those of you that are on Patreon or you're in the General's Lunchbox on Facebook, that's a Facebook page, or YouTube members, you guys saw all these pictures, and you saw the video we made. So I went back and I grabbed those tires and wheels, and I wanted to get them broke down. Now, CJ, Costco Jimmy, he's our tire guy.
Right.
But he's out. He's on the injured reserve list. He's not even working. So
The IR list.
that's right. So I had to go to a different place, and I went way, way downtown to the north end of Carson. There's an old place called Hooten's Tires, and I go in there, and the old boy comes out, and he's like, he wasn't even surprised. I'm bringing in these wheels and tires from 1947. He's like, yeah, I've seen those. And they couldn't get the tires off. Now, some tires...
These are on rims.
These are on rims. They're on
Okay.
wheels. And I'm trying to get them just to dismount get the rubbers off of them so I can see what condition the wheels are in, get the skins off. And some tires are, because I used to be a tire guy, I'll tell you right now, some tires are difficult to take off. I remember Michelin tires, brand new. They just wouldn't go on and off. They were so stiff. The sidewall so tough. You hated doing them brand new. BF Goodrich is another one that's not easy. These are BF Goodrich from 1959 or whatever. Not a good tire. They had 3 guys. I took pictures of this, then posted it for the members. They had 3 guys on their toughest tire machine, could not get this thing broke loose. They finally did, and we had 5 wheels. We had 4 off the vehicle and in the spare. The spare that was under this old truck was rotten all the way through. There was holes, cancer all the way through. I still got that one. The other 4 looked okay. So I drive them out to a place that does powder coating, because a powder coating place also does sandblasting. And I thought, all right, I'll have somebody sandblast these, and we'll take a look at them. We'll see if they're usable, if they're good. Now, I also knew the sandblasting place was close to where one of the rock guys, the gravel guy, was.
Okay.
You with me on this?
Yeah, I'm following it. I smell what you're stepping in.
I'm bringing the whole story around here.
Uh-huh.
So I go out there, and the lady who begins to help me at the powder coating place is gorgeous.
And I'm not with you.
You're not with me, and she's beautiful, and she's.
And the charm got.
I was turning on the charm.
Oh, God.
I even
Can't turn this off.
I can turn it down, but I can't turn
it
this off.
Here we go.
I even threw in a darling.
No.
That's how serious I was. Yep.
What?
I even threw it
You
out there.
haven't pulled out a darling in forever. Wow.
So I get done, and she's going to sandblast them, and then we're going to talk about powder coating. And
Yeah, I bet she's going to talk about powder coating.
now you sound like your brother. He goes, your brother had the same jargon when I was trying to tell him. He was doing the same
See?
innuendos as you. So I'm thinking, okay, it got done there, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll race over to the gravel guy. He's literally less than a mile away.
Uh-huh.
I pull up in his driveway. His gates are locked, and it's 3:35. And I thought, that's odd, 3:35. Why isn't he open till 5 or 6?
Right.
His sign right there on the gate said they close at 3:30, and I missed it by 5 minutes because I was talking with the girl.
Uh-huh.
If I hadn't been talking with the girl, if I'd have kept it just business,
Not flirting.
not smiling, no darlings,
Yes.
I might have been there on time for the gravel guy. As I'm sitting there and I'm on my phone in his driveway, he pulls up. And he was getting gas at the Vallejo across the street. And he goes, "Hey, man, I'm really sorry, but I'm closed." And I said, "It's okay. I'm late." He goes, "Well, I'd stay, but I got to go into town." I said, "It's okay. Just go."
Yeah.
But again, this terrible place I live in, northern Nevada, that no one likes, how many guys would do that? How many guys would take the time, they see their customer sitting outside, and would take the time to drive back over and communicate, a little talk?
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons I love where we live.
So it makes you want to go back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you
makes
want
me
to
wanna
go
go
back
back.
and talk to this
Right.
guy.
So that's where we're at. I got 2 guys to call about the gravel to get prices on road base, and I got 1 guy to call about leveling the 1 square where the big containers are going to go for storage. But I'm close. I could probably have things done in about 8 or 9 days and be completely done and ready to go. But yeah, that's why I missed it. I don't want you to think that I was just flirting with some girl. They close at 3:30. I didn't think they closed at 3:30. I thought I had plenty of time to flirt, plenty of time to talk about sandblasting, plenty of time to talk about getting my parts
Cleaned,
powder coated,
powder coated.
and then still be able to talk to the guy. It just didn't work out. So the other thing was that I'm sitting in the Hootens and I'm talking at the counter. I'm getting ready to pay for them. They got rid of the old tires for me, and I'm paying for the guy. And they had a big bowl of Halloween candy there, and in it was
Butterfingers.
4 Butterfingers.
I knew it.
And the guy goes, "Hey, man, you can take those." And I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of eyeballing your Butterfingers." He goes, "Yeah, no one likes those. You'd be doing us a favor if you took them." I said, "Well, if I can do a guy a favor,
I know you got to help out everything. Yes.
I said, "Well, I don't mind if I do. If you're sure this will help you." He goes, "Oh, it'll be doing me a favor. Get rid of those Butterfingers." And I was digging through that bowl like a mofo looking for Butterfingers.
Unbelievable. Yeah, because you went through all my Halloween candy.
No, I know. I'm just.
That's not on Dr. Dreamy's list.
You talk about all that stuff with the Sun Valley Fox, your brother, and how hard he works and how much he does. He's probably slowed down in the last 20 years, I would guess, just because, time and age catch up with you. But that guy works so steadily and so hard at stuff. I get tired watching him work. I can be sitting in a chair breathing heavy, and someone says, "Why are you breathing heavy?" He's like, "I'm watching Joe work. I can't. That looks exhausting." I even told him the other day, I said, "You're going to be dead one day, and you're still going to get more done than me."
He's always been
He's
like
one of
that.
those guys who does that. So
That's how we were raised, though.
yeah, I get it. But there's things you don't really catch on to. Maybe this is probably with lots of people in lots of ways, but I don't really notice it till someone from the outside looks in. Joe and I, your brother, we get along great.
Yes.
We're very similar with things. We think about things the same way. We enjoy spending time with each other.
And you make each other laugh all
We
the
do.
time.
We just all the time. But so we're taking we had the old hickories on the trailer, and we have to jack up old hickory on the trailer, put jack stands in it, take the wheels off, and then cinch it back down so that it's not just unbalanced on jack stands
Because
on
of
the
the
trailer.
wind here.
Right, because of the wind, it'd knock your shit over. So we knew what we were doing. And St. Donna happened to be there. You were there working, and St. Donna's walking around. She's having a panic attack.
She was being the mom when we're all getting downright and dirty.
Oh my God! No, not just mom. She was mother henning the situation.
More my brother than us, though.
No, all your brothers. Yeah.
She could care less about us.
She's
but
like,
it was
Joe, get out from under there, Joe. And she's yelling at me, "Don't move the jack. He's under there." I'm like, I know. Now, this is the part I'm talking about. I didn't realize that other people don't see that your brother and I, we have a rhythm to things. I don't move the truck until he says go. I don't lower the jack or raise the jack until I see him and he gives me like, okay, let's do
I
it.
saw it.
I just sit there and wait. Which is just a rhythm that men get into.
Yeah.
Where you're waiting for a signal, you're waiting for a word, you don't move.
And I was watching you guys. I saw
You
it.
were fine
she
with that.
didn't.
No.
I never was
She
worried.
was so hovering over him. I thought he was gonna, because he was almost bumping her with his elbow, like you're right on top of me.
Yeah.
And he almost told her to go in the house. I mean, he just about.
I knew it was coming.
Now here's what I don't fault her for feeling this way. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just this is her husband. She knows he's, not going to be on this earth 40 more years. She's being protective. I got it. I never faulted her for that at all. She just doesn't see how he works and the rhythm that he works in with me. She didn't catch that. Otherwise, she'd probably felt things were okay because that's just how we go. But it's because she saw it. Think about the job he did.
That's what I said to you.
In machining.
She was never
Well,
there.
you didn't bring it up, so I waited. You didn't bring it up, so I'm bringing it up. Don't tag along now that you
You
said
haven't
it.
even taken a breath yet. So, yeah, I mentioned to you about my brother being a machinist, how dangerous that can be.
You did. And the thing is that in his job, there was machine equipment and things that could very easily wind you up, suck
sure.
you in, cut you, harm you, no fingers.
He's working with metal.
There's
too.
all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff that he could have got into. And there's clamps, there's cutters, there's benders, there's things that could really harm you. But she never saw it.
Right.
She wasn't there all day, or she would have been, oh my God, watch out all day long. She doesn't understand that the stuff he was doing with me, nothing compared. The stuff we were doing together is stuff he was doing at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
But she didn't see it, so she thinks that's pretty serious when in reality, he has a great handle on that. He, even at 70 years old, he sees everything. He sees stuff that I don't see. So it was funny for me listening to her mother hen him because I'm thinking, how close is he to snapping?
That's what I was waiting. I was like, okay, here it comes. If she says one more word,
thing.
it was going to be like, oh, man.
But do you know why he didn't? Is because she really had genuine concern.
Yes, she did.
It wasn't like controlling and nagging. No, not at all. Hers was heartfelt, like, this is my best friend and he's going to get hurt.
Right.
She really felt that's the only reason I think Joe backed off and he's like, I get it. You don't. But she also didn't catch the rhythm of how we do stuff.
Right.
And there is, I think your brother would agree with me on that. I think if we were all standing around, having a burger or something, I think if this conversation got brought up, your brother would agree and go, yeah, we work well. There's just not everything has to be explained. We just get it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I definitely saw it that day when you guys were
So
working together. Oh,
there's your yawn. You've been fighting him all day.
first yawn.
First yawn.
Sorry.
So we did that. We got it cinched down. We took it back. We got into our rhythm. We did our stuff. And now the wheels are being sandblasted just to inspect them. And the holes where the valve stems come through where you put air, they're not round anymore. And we might have to put tubes in the tires to make this work. I got to talk to Costco Jimmy about how that's going to work. But we're on our way. But you guys, anybody who wants to see this stuff, you got to be part of Patreon. Go join Patreon. Just Google Gen X Talks Patreon or go look it up. It's on our website. And you can scroll back and see all the stuff. I keep the members side up pretty good.
Yes.
On members only content. I really, really do.
You've done really well with that.
So I've done a good job at keeping those things where they're supposed to be so you guys can all keep up on what we're doing. So when we do a garage show, we do something, you guys have all the information in between. You've seen all the pictures and stories and how we got there. The people that just watch the show, they just catch that part of it. They don't know all the ins and outs and how we got to those points on those things. So a couple of things to throw out there, just as a little moment. I did take you. We talked about this on the podcast.
We did.
You have been to the transfer station,
Which I had no idea what
The dump.
Yes.
And I showed you
That's a nice name for the dump.
the transfer station.
The transfer station. Because when we had the kids and you always said, let's go to the dump,
Yeah.
I think all the girls went, ugh. You should have said transfer station.
Yeah, we went to the dump and the kids, and there was one time one of our daughters, our millennial daughter, a seagull shit on her. She got out of the truck and we were all walking around to the trailer, started
Got in her
unloading,
hair.
and it shit from really high up and it landed right in her hair. Oh my God. She was
said
so
she
mad.
vowed from that day she was never going to the dump. But if you would have said transfer station.
She might have. Well, you know, I don't know why it's called a transfer station, and I don't know why it is so neat and cleaned and organized. Being
For a dump.
being we live in shitty northern Nevada, it's really surprising that things are so clean in there.
And the people there are nice.
They are super nice and
Super
helpful.
helpful.
Yep. I was trying to take a bracket off of an old TV. I didn't have the right screwdriver. The guy went and got one, and he did it for me.
Yes.
I walked over, and he was already done. I'm like, hey, man, you didn't have to do this. No, I'm trying to help. That's what it's like living in shitty northern Nevada.
Yeah, the other thing is you tried to take off the back end of the trailer, and I just wasn't tall enough and strong
Right,
enough
yeah. And
to do this. And the guy came over and helped
Yep.
you.
Yep. Again, 1, 2, 3 lift. He got it out there, and he didn't have to help us at all. California today said, hey, liability prohibits us from touching any of your stuff. We can't do it unless you signed a waiver signed by 3 lawyers.
Yeah.
Not these guys. They're just trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
And it was
He also said, hey, take the TV over there. And he ended up picking the TV
Yeah.
up and taking it over to the other
he
section.
goes, all the TVs go over here in this one area. And I said, okay, I'll get to that in a minute. I was going to do it last.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, he picked it up and just walked over. He goes, I got it. Didn't even care. I'm telling you, it's a different way of living here. I am telling you. And I'm sure not everybody's perfect. Fine. But I really am
Yeah.
enjoying this
And I'm sure there's
experience.
other places in this country that do that and
Sure,
are very
tons.
friendly and helpful. But
Tons.
we've been in California where we've seen the shift that
Right.
nobody wants to do anymore.
Right. So the other thing to throw out there, too, is that Shiloh Ferguson, I'm kind of letting her
Offer reins.
encroach.
Offer leash?
Encroach.
Ooh, I haven't heard that encroachment. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that term in a long time. Okay.
I'm letting her.
They don't use that term
No, they don't
anymore.
use that in football anymore.
No.
But I offered her a little bit to encroach from her. She's producing the show.
Of
off the-
OTR.
OTR off the record.
She's doing awesome.
Gangbusters.
She's like blowing it out
And
of
I
the
said,
park.
well, you know, if you run across situations, you run across people that really don't fit. Like, and I gave her a dumb example. I said, what if in your travels you're looking for ghost stories, you're looking for people to be off the record, and you run across a guy who was a submarine captain for the United States Navy. Now, that wouldn't fit ghost stories unless your submarine was haunted.
Right.
But I said, Shy, that's a dude I'd want to talk to. I mean, I will make that an interesting interview. And she perked up because we were on a video room. We were in the Discord video room. She goes, what do you mean? I said, you run across people, you find people. I don't care who they are. If it's interesting, I will make it an interesting interview. I promise you, I will not let you down. It will not be boring. It'll be great.
Right.
And so all of a sudden she's like, I got ideas. I got things. Now, I can't get her to schedule them just yet, like you and Little Miss Hot and Nerdy can schedule. But if she starts getting these people on the hook, then she can move into scheduling like you guys. She can look at the calendars and she can book the rooms with Thomas and get things lined out. First one she came up with that she kind of knows is Steve Largent.
Oh,
Now, I don't know if anybody knows who Steve Largent is.
Seattle Seahawks.
And he was also in government.
Yes.
And I don't know whether she knows his podiatrist or whether she babysat his kids or whether he helped her change a flat tire on the side
Maybe
of the road.
it's his urologist.
I
You
don't
know.
But I told her, I said, now, if he's up north and doing his stuff up in the north area, I said, if that guy comes back to visit relatives and the hometown stuff and he's got an extra couple hours, I said, I'll drive up there. And we'll rent a hotel room or we'll rent a little studio. We'll do something up there. I said, that guy at that level, I said, I'd drive up there and do something with him up there.
Right.
That's how I feel about Steve Largent. Plus, I want to bring my football cards and see if he'll sign
Oh
them too.
my goodness. There's always an ulterior motive every single time.
But just to throw out some things that are in the works, it's been a very, very busy morning around here.
That's cool.
A lot of phone calls, a lot of ins and outs, a lot of wherefores and what have yous. But some of the stuff, everyone's still riding high off of last night's show And now it's opening some ideas for some other shows. And things are coming together with Thomas. Things are coming together with the studio rooms that are available. It looks like right now we're just picking up the momentum with Gen X Talks as a brand. The garage shows taking that turn for doing stuff during the day. That's going to be a big
The
thing.
new schedule is definitely working in our favor.
The new schedule is great, and we put a hiccup into it by switching how we're recording the garage show, but it has the potential to be even better because we're outside in the sunlight. And now that like you guys saw, the lapel mics we got, the portable camera, if it's charged up where Gen X Mom can walk around and keep up with us, that's a big thing. That is a huge thing. I think the loose ends of Gen X Talks are getting tightened up, and now we're starting to go.
Right.
It's really feeling like we're starting to go. And as I say that, we had no intro music.
You have one job.
One job before the show.
Hey, I even reminded you last night about the intro music. You didn't even have that ready to go for OTR right
no,
before.
but we got it ready.
Yes,
Can
you
you
did.
believe all the complications that went with a Zoom call broadcasting over Streamlabs and looping the sound to make it go back? And I did it on the first try.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think Danny H was standing there going, bravo. Bravo. Well done. Because one try. Got it on one try.
It
Good
was
stuff.
very cool. Very cool.
Anyway, that's it. I think I'm all out of things to talk about. I'm not doing a car story because it kind of did with Big Blue and Hickory and the tires and
Understood.
stuff. That kind of counts.
Understood.
You know, the sandblasting, that kind of counts. I mean, I can go back.
Yeah, you always want to be sandblasted.
I can go back and talk to that lady a little more. If nothing else for content, give, never take. That's my motto. So if I need to go spend a little time with her talking about things automotive related,
Not today. I have the truck. I reserved the truck
that
today.
is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
So, just a heads up for next week's podcast, we have to go to DMV tomorrow. So, there may be some stories for next week. I'm just giving you a little, teaser.
I got to call your brother because we got to go. We'd have to set something up to film and record right after DMV because we don't know how long that's going to take.
No.
We got the rest of our we're sharing a truck right now. We got the rest of our vehicles down in California. So when we get them up here and figure out how we're going to make that all work, the DMV's got to take care of some of that for us tomorrow.
Yeah, but the real reason we're going is to do Old Blue. That's what this started as.
Big Blue.
Was
Big
Big
Blue.
Blue
Yeah.
transferring. It took that long
Yeah,
to get a
to get an
DMV.
appointment.
But then we decided, we'll just take everything in and see what we could do. So we're gonna be there
Well,
a while.
let's see how things go tomorrow at DMV. And then let's see about setting up for doing some work on Big Blue or Old Hickory at the Sun Valley Foxes to film that for the show tomorrow night. And if we can balance it out, I'd sure like to go over and see Chuck, who we bought Big Blue from, and pick up the rest of those tires and put him on camera just for a couple seconds. You guys who are members, you guys got to see pictures of him at the car show and when we purchased Big Blue. But until you actually hear his voice and listen to a couple of his stories, you don't get it. And I'd like to get that.
I would love for you to just sit down with him in his garage and just ask a couple questions of him.
I would too.
I think that would be really, really
Yep.
awesome. So
Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on and things are rolling like they're supposed to be. Okay, look at me, no cheating.
okay.
How long we been on?
Hour 39.
Hour 33.
Okay.
Pretty close, but I notice when it's about an hour, you're down to the minute.
Yeah, I started because
You stray a little bit.
because I've been sitting here for an hour, and that's when about an hour is when my back starts hurting. That's the go-to.
No, that's how you're holding your back going, okay, that's about 50.
I got to get up and move.
That's 59 minutes right there. 59 minutes, the old
yes.
bag.
Yes, I got to get up and move.
Well, listen, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for listening in. I know the podcast is running a little long. A lot of you don't mind. Your brother seems to mind. Your brother goes, yeah, I noticed I was trying to get out there and get some work done last week, and the podcast just kept going and going. But other than that, old crotchety guy, everybody seems to really enjoy that we're not cutting it off in an hour, that we're finishing our stories, that we're getting everything in one shot.
Yeah.
And we are touching on some current topics every now and then. We didn't used to do that. Add a little bit of politics in there, just some stuff going on. We add a little bit about the World
Didn't
Series.
you just ask me to say goodbye? And you're still talking.
Well, I just want to recap that we're doing things a little differently. We've made that change that we intentionally, we talk about some stuff going on. We talked about the Dodgers and the World Series. We talk about the elections. I don't think the entire show should always be just about everything we're doing in detail, although that's the bulk of it. We just want to let you know these are conscious efforts we're making to be, to round out the show. So thank you guys for listening in. Thank you guys for stopping by. Not sure where you listened in from or where you're chiming in from around the planet. AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you're listening in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things in life. Wherever you go, there you are. And number two, I'll catch you guys on the flip side, because I'm out, baby. I got to go.
Life is a wild way you run, not telling where it goes. Nobody really knows, and it doesn't really matter now.